sheepdog, adders with the blind sting, lizards legged pilots of porch on the park of trouble like a head of of the rapping soft and sharp, the loopers had not take to the dark, and the bitter blaspheming Jew, borrowed out the tricks of you, silver in the moon, the kiss, news, the twelve, and past his lips, finger of a bird strangled, bay. Dish by a drab, make the glow, take the slab, add that to a time that's children, all the ingredients of all culture, double, 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 charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Open locks. Whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags. What is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. Howe'er you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the yesty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though palaces and pyramids stoop their heads to their foundations, answer me to what I ask.
Speak. Demand.
We'll answer. Say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths, or from our masters!
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh. Grease that's sweating from the murderer's gibbet, throw into the brain.
Come high or low thyself, and office deathly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows I thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth! 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 Beware, Macduff! Beware the sin of fight! Dismiss me! Enough!
Whate'er thou art, for this good counsel, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here is another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth! 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 Had I 3 ears, I'd hear this.
Be bloody, bold and resolute. Last to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth!
Then live, Macduff! What need I fear of thee? And yet, to make assurance double sure, I'll take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live. What's this?
Listen, but speak not to it. Be lion metal proud, and take no care who chase, who press, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquish thee, until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That can never be! Who can impress the forest? Bid the tree unfix his earthbound root. Sweet boldness, good. Rebellion's head rise never till the wood of Burnham rise, and our high place Macbeth shall live the lease of nature. And yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me, and an eternal curse light on you! Let me know!
Show!
Show! Show!
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down. Thy crown does sear my eyeballs. Thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow is like the first. The third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth, starred eyes. Will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet. A seventh. I'll see no more. And yet, an eighth appears, who bears a glass which shows me many more. And now I see. It is true. For the blood-bolted Banquo smiles at me and points at them for his. What is this so?
Aye, sir. All this is so.
Where are they? Go on. Come in without there.
What's your grace?
As well.
Saw you the Weird Sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride. I did hear the galloping of horse who was came by.
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word Macduff is fled to England.
Fled to England.
Aye, my good lord.
Time. Thou anticipates my dread exploits. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the blade his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights!
The land.
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. Our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom! To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion, and his titles in a place from whence himself doth fly. He loves us not. Oh, he wants the natural touch. The poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom, and the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest coz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is wise, noble, judicious. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumour from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea. I take my leave of you. I shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at their worst will cease, or else climb upward to where they were before. My pretty cousins, my blessings on you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sarah? Your father's dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What? With worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean. My father is not dead, for all your sake.
Yes, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, what will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakst with all thy wit. And yet a faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And may all be traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged who swear and lie?
Every one.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men. Oh, God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him.
Prattler, how thou talk'st.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known. I do fear some dangers approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. What hens with your little ones? To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage to do worse to you a fell cruelty which is too nigh your Heaven preserve thee. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. I remember now. I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable, to do good, sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these spaces?
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and birth him. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face.
What I believe, I'll wail. What no, believe. And what I can redress, as I shall find the time to, friend, I will. what you have spoke, it may be so. Perchance, this tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was one thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright, still that the brightest fell.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there I did find my doubts. Why in this rawness left you wife and child? There are those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave-taking.
Bleed, bleed, poor country. Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkst, for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grasp.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps. It bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think with all there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here, from gracious England have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, then my poor country shall have more vices than it had before. More suffered, more sundry ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself. I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice, so grafted that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth shall seem as pure as snow.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
By grant and bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that hath a name, but there's no bottom, none to my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the system of my lust. Better Macbeth than such a one to reign.
But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty and yet seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink, we have willing dames enough.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a staunchless avarice that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewels and this other's house, and my more having would be as a source to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper. Yet do not fear. Scotland hath foisons to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces waived.
But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy. Mercy. Lowliness. Devotion. Patience. Courage. Fortitude. I have no relish of them. Nay, had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland.
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. Oh, nation miserable, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since at the truest issue of thy throne, by his own interdiction, stands accursed and does blaspheme his breed. Thy royal father was a most sainted king! The queen that bore thee often upon her knees than on her feet. Fare thee well. Oh, my breast, thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, Child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth. By many of these trains has sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from over credulous haste. But God above deal between me and thee, for even now I put myself to thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself, for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman. Never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own. At no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this upon myself: what I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither, indeed, before thy here approach, old Sibbert, with 10,000 warlike men already at a point, was setting forth. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once, 'tis hard to reconcile. See who comes here.
My countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin. Welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God. Betimes remove the means that makes us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stands Scotland where it did?
Alas. Poor country. Almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing, but who knows nothing, has once seemed to smile. The sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy.
Oh, relation too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why? Well.
And all my children?
Well, till...
The tyrant has not battered at their peace.
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a niggard of your speech. How goes?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumour of many worthy fellows that were out, which was, to my belief, witnessed the rather for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers.
Yes, your comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good Siward and 10,000 men, an older and a better soldier, none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be howled out in the desert air, where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe. Though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess I did.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner were to add the death of you.
Merciful heaven. What man? Now pull your hat upon your brows. Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the earth-wrought heart and bids it break.
My children too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, hell! Kite! All? What, all my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Naught that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger, blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my blade's length set him. If he scape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking. And the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long, but never finds the day.